Hey everyone, Zoraz here from Not Casuals. Today I want to talk about something special. I want to talk about Inazuma, the next zone confirmed to be arriving in Genshin Impact in the future. Now before going further, I want to let you guys know that there are going to be mild spoilers for the Genshin Impact storyline. So if you are just beginning the game, there will be some information about the quest line of Leeway basically, so 1.1's patch content. So if you are not there yet in the storyline, maybe save this video for later, but otherwise, if you have already done the quest line of Genshin Impact and you are basically waiting for your resin daily like most of us are, this is going to be mostly fan theory and fan made images, so it is nothing that will spoil anything that's confirmed. It is basically just information that we have gathered from around the internet. So first I want to give credit to Alan Jammy, who has made this image. This image is completely fan made. Now it is not from the official game content at all. It is not a leak or a data mine. It's basically drawn by a user, but it has been inspired by actual leaks from the game, because a few weeks ago there was a map of everything coming in the future of Genshin Impact that was leaked. So we would basically just see the shapes and the mountains and what it would look like. Now, I have shared this on our Discord in the usual leak channel where you can find all of this information, but some user has basically just used all the shapes that was data mined from the game and made a map out of it, which would most likely be very close to what we might see in the future when Inazuma actually comes out. So in this video, I will just be talking about what we know so far about this zone and some information and lore that has been theorized. So first of all, of course, Inazuma will be an island. It will be south of where we are right now, basically southeast. It will be Japanese inspired, so the team of Mondstadt is German and the team of Leeway is Chinese, so this is going to be Japanese. And it will be most likely as big as Leeway. Now it might look small here on the map, but obviously this is going to be much bigger when you're actually in game. All of these are basically mountains and stuff, so this is going to be pretty much as much content as Leeway was. Hopefully at least should be as much, and much more than Dragon Spine, because that would be not a lot for a whole new region. Now this will be a zone that will be lightning, so the Archon will be lightning Archon, and the Traveler will be getting lightning powers, which will make it the third element the Traveler can use. And we're also not exactly sure when this is coming. Most people thought it would be out by now, but according to some recent leaks, we might not see this until 1.6 or 1.7, which would be between June and July of this year, so most likely 5 to 6 months from now. So the Archon for this zone is going to be called Raiden, or Baal, known as the God of Eternity. Now there has been some information about that in the storyline from Zhongli himself. Now most people have been guessing that Raiden Mei, this is a character from Honkai Impact, which is MiHoYo's other game before Genshin Impact, and it has been done before by them a lot, like such as Venti and even the goddess of the Eternal Palace. They are characters that are very heavily inspired from their other characters in previous game. Now first of all, Raiden basically is the name that she has in Honkai Impact and has in Genshin Impact, so this is the exact same name. This is also a lightning character in Honkai Impact and has a Japanese kind of like samurai look as well. So obviously it will not look exactly the same, but this is probably the closest estimation to what it might look like, since Venti is basically a same kind of symbol from Honkai Impact, also having a character that looked like Venti as a god of wind. So we don't have an exact information. We don't know if she's going to be a sword user or anything, but we know that she's a female Archon, and we know that she's going to be lightning for sure, of course, because she's the Archon of lightning, and that basically her local name will be the Raiden Shogun. Now another interesting information is that Baal, her god name, basically the same as Morax or Barbados. These are all demon names from the Bible with names taken from gods of hell. So it is pretty interesting, which is kind of like unrelated to the story itself, because it doesn't really have anything to do. They're not obviously demons in the game. But you know, this is what we know so far about her, and this is something that might look like what she will look like when she's released. We obviously completely have no idea if it will be true, but in all, I would be pretty happy with what it would look like. In Honkai Impact, this is what she looks like when she ascends to her full thunder power or whatever. So you know, it looks pretty similar to some of the characters we've seen in terms of art style, and we would not be very unhappy with a character that looks this awesome. I'm pretty sure it would be the waifu of a lot of new players. Now for those who haven't done the storyline for 1.1, this is where the spoilers would come in. You can see here that when you talk to Zhongli at the end of the story, he talks about the Electro Archon, Baal, which is known as her name, the same as he is known as Rex Lapis, and she obviously is called Raiden in layman's term, basically, as Zhongli is called Zhongli instead of Morax or Rex Lapis. So it's all, they have a lot of names, it's complicated. You can see here that he cares about it. He's telling us more information about what's happening in Inazuma and who the god is. And he calls her Raiden, the Shogun of Inazuma Bakufu, which is basically the leaders of that region, kind of like the Knight of Favonius. And you can tell that obviously this is hinting towards the future of the game. They are obviously telling us that Inazuma is the next and preparing us to get some of the knowledge from that. Now they also tell us about the situation in Inazuma being very tense. This basically talks about the fact that you cannot access Inazuma. It's closed off to people and visitors. Now there's a lot of fan theory about this, and I will give you kind of like the rundown of what this all could mean for us and for Inazuma itself. Now there's a thread here on Reddit that talks about the theory pretty well that was posted a few months ago. Now I will put this in the description, of course. You can inform yourself about all this information that has about Inazuma, the Archon and Baal and where it comes from and some of the lore behind it all. Now what I'm going to talk about is Inazuma itself in the game, what it means. Now apparently there has been some drama happening in Inazuma and the Archon has closed up the entire island to any visitors except the Fechui because they have diplomatic immunity, but otherwise they're basically trying to find all visions and she is trying to collect all the visions. So basically the vision is what gives all these characters powers. All of our current characters have them almost, except of course the Traveler, and basically we don't exactly know what's going on, but we know that it's some drama and it most likely has to do with the Fechui, being that they're trying to steal the Gnosis, which is the power of the gods. So we don't know exactly how that will go, but we know that the island is closed off and the Archon might be our enemy at first, though of course because MiHoYo likes money so much, most likely that character will be playable at some point and we will be able to pull for her. So it might be in the storyline that she becomes good or is basically just being corrupted or manipulated into something. Now my guess is that we will most likely be having inside help to access this island. We have for sure known that Ayaka is one of the characters that will be present in Inazuma. She is from Inazuma, her vision is Inazuman, but she is obviously a cryo character. Now this character is going to maybe have an impact in how we get interacted because we obviously know that she's a character coming up because we have her in the beta before we have played her and she was a playable character. So we don't know exactly, this is all basically theory, we were just guessing, but it's very interesting and we will have to see how we get there. Now Inazuma itself will be located, as I said, southeast, so you can see down here is where Inazuma will be located. Now if you come here, of course, in the Sea of Clouds, in this little island here, you can see obviously this island. This is Beidu's ship and you can tell that it's aiming directly down there. This is where Inazuma would be, and you can see kind of like far over there that there's obviously land there. So this technically would be Inazuma if you, according to the storyline. So you can tell it's a pretty massive land and there's even more apparently behind it maybe. So, you know, we're not exactly sure, but one of the most popular guesses is that Beidu's ship will be used to travel us towards Inazuma, and we will be basically maybe smuggled in through some inside help, or Beidu obviously being a pirate with a lot of connection. She has been to Inazuma before, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, we don't exactly know, but this is the most plausible way because this ship is there for a reason, and so far there hasn't been much. Otherwise, of course, there is the Port of Leo over there, so you can take a boat. There are some boats in there if you talk to the NPCs that will tell you that they are sometimes going to Inazuma for shipment, or they used to, or they've seen people from Inazuma arrive or go. So, you know, there is obviously a lot of hints. We will obviously learn through it, through the storyline itself, but this is all the interesting information that we have so far. So now going back to this map, of course, it is interesting to see. Now there's a port here, and there's a port here, there's another port here, and you can tell that, you know, they're all little islands, and it will be kind of like interesting to travel to. I'm sure there'll be different kind of like boat mechanism or a fly mechanism. This is technically the main city of Inazuma, so it will be at the hub and where we'll have, you know, all of the information and all the interesting stuff happening. And you can see that it's a basically very mountainy area. It will be very heavily inspired by Japanese actual weather and stuff. So people say it should be a very rainy and stormy weather, obviously a lot of lightning and storms, which will be obviously very interesting since it's a lightning region. We are very interested to know more about it. Again, there isn't much confirmed information, but there has been a lot of hints through trailers and Twitter posts and stuff that Inazuma is coming. And something else that we've seen from Inazuma, of course, is Scaramouche, one of the characters from the Fechui. He's one of the Harbinger, and he is technically from Inazuma, and he says he's a traveler coming from there. So he most likely will have some involvement in there as well. So, you know, this is all very interesting information. As I said, of course, we do not know much about it officially. It's not confirmed. This is all fan-made. This is all drawn. So this is what we have so far. But the story and the lore behind it seems interesting. There seems to be a lot of different ways this could go. And we are really hopeful that this will arrive sooner rather than later, because we are in desperate need of content right now. And this is the next big thing that we should be seeing after Dragon Spine. So hopefully this is not going to be as far as it has been leaked, but we never know. It is a thing that takes a long time to create these zones. So hopefully we get to enjoy this area soon and get to see Ayaka, Scaramouche, and other amazing characters that are rumored to be coming with Inazuma in the near future. Let me know, guys, in the comment what you think will be the lore behind Inazuma, what you think will be how we get there, what is it that's happening out there, what's your fan theory about this region, and what is the character that you're most excited to see in Inazuma in the future, whether it be Scaramouche, Ayaka, or the Archon, Baal, or even the Traveler with lightning powers. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next video.